Hi, Mickey.
Trying to mute this.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you all again. Sacred Space is an interfaith and secular community that, centered in compassion, welcomes all people. I'm Reverend Teresa Cowan Jones, a co-founder of Sacred Space, and we meet first and third Sundays at this time all year to celebrate interfaith harmony and build compassion through contemplation, compassionate listening, and also some music sits. So everyone here is invited to keep attending Sacred Space throughout the year so we can regularly feel our oneness as humanity and let that fuel our action in the world. Today's gathering is a special gathering. So we are sponsored by the Charter for Compassion and the Religion, Spirituality, and Interfaith sector of the Charter for Compassion to celebrate the United Nations World Interfaith Harmony Week. We give heartfelt thanks to those organizations for their great work and for hosting this week, making this possible. We also give deep thanks to Mega Morganfield and friends for creating Sacred Space through their beautiful music and gracious spirits. I also want to give deep thanks to Reverend Natasha Korshak, founder of the Soul Center, for leading us in an interfaith meditation today and for her insightful teaching. Thank you all for joining together. We are excited to be joined by our sister Sacred Spaces in 16 cities and 6 countries. I invite you to scroll through all the photos or the images of ourselves at some point so that you can be encouraged by the community of support that you are in right now. I want to share with you a little bit about what we're going to do together today. We'll begin with a candle lighting. If you have one, you can join in with us. We'll have a welcome and centering time, our first music sit, a contemplative practice, another music sit, some time for compassionate listening, a time to bless each other, and a closing song. And I'll guide you through everything so that you can let go of anything you're holding on to in this hour and simply find rest and renewal. Just some quick suggestions for participation today. Everyone will need to remain muted, please, to create a contemplative space. I invite you to click gallery view at any time you want to see our whole community at once. That's in the box in the top right of your screen. I'm going to ask everybody to please refrain from using the chat box for any personal messaging. We will use it, however, to share the lyrics for the songs. So you can join in and to share also our contact information. So please take a moment now to find that function at the bottom of your screen and open chat by simply clicking it. Please note this call will be recorded. And feel free to be off camera if that would make you feel more comfortable. We invite you also to approach the music sits as a time of prayer. Also, you can note the biographies for our practice leader and musicians. They are both on our website and in our newsletter. And if you'd like to contact them or follow their work, please see their contact information in the chat box. I could not more highly commend Natasha's teachings and Mega's music. Very grateful for you two. If you want to be notified of any more online gatherings of Sacred Space, please sign up to receive our newsletter at sacredspacecommunity.org. And if you haven't already become a member of the Charter for Compassion, please do so by going to their website and signing the charter. Now let's enter a moment of centering, a transition, I think, now that we've gotten the housekeeping matters brought into our awareness. Let's now pause and center ourselves even more deeply as we enter a more contemplative space now. I'll start by lighting our candle. Didn't know I've been off camera the whole time. Sorry about that. I always think of light as this deeply apt metaphor for spirit, as they both bring life to us. So I light this candle in remembrance and celebration of the spirit of love that is within all of us. May this be a time where we feel the freedom to bring our authentic selves and connect to that which unites us as humanity. May this be a community where we feel the freedom to seek truth wherever we may find it. Spirituality, science, the world's wisdom traditions, behavioral science, the natural world, arts, music, within our own deep, truest selves, or perhaps in the eyes of our neighbor. May this be a time where we commit to cultivating the skill of compassion. For that is our mission here, is to cultivate compassion that leads to social justice so that all beings may thrive. Let us be renewed in this time and rest. Let go a little bit of any concerns we're holding on to. and enter into our first music sit in a time of meditation.
And Kathleen and Steffi and Sky. And Marky's our sound guy. 1, 2. All the seeds of my dreams begin with my intentions. Let's repeat that. All the seeds of my dreams begin with my intentions. One more time. All the seeds of my dreams begin with my intentions. This section. I am open to receiving. I am open to creating together. I am open to receiving. I am open to creating. Next section. From the moment of believing, I can live my passion. From the moment of believing, I can live my passion. From the top. All the seeds of my dreams begin with my intention. Again. All the seeds of my dreams begin with my intention. Second. I am open to receiving. I am open. I am open to creating. From the moment of believing, I can live. I can live my passion. I am open. I am open to receiving. I am open to creating. From the moment of believing, I can live my passion. All the seeds of my dreams begin with my intention. All the seeds of my dreams begin with my intention. I am open to receiving. I am open to creating. From the moment of believing, I can live my passion. I am open. I am open to receiving. I am open to creating. From the moment of believing, I can live my passion. From the top. All the seeds of my dreams begin with my intention. All the seeds of my dreams begin with my intention. Second section. I am open to receiving. I am open to creating. From the moment of believing, I can live my passion. I am open. I am open to receiving. I am open. I am open to creating. From the moment of believing, I can live my passion. Here we are. I can live my passion. Thank you. I wanted to do a song that would be familiar to some in tune and some in experience with singing it. It's very simple and very heralding in the many ways for holding the sacred. So as you become familiar with this, please join in. Cockle Canon in D. Hallelujah.
Thank you, Mega, and friends, and Mark. It's so beautiful. I feel very weepy. The heart makes me weepy, as well as Alleluia. So hello, everyone. It's nice to look out and see some of you who I recognize from Sacred Space in person, and then other people from elsewhere. So it's nice to be with you. I was thinking again about, of course, Interfaith Harmony Week. I just started a new program at the Soul Center on contemplative study, and our first module is about global spirituality. So we've been looking at this phenomena. And I think about my own upbringing, and I'm sure you all would have your own story. Again, our sort of mix, if not from our family, of what we've moved into as adults. So I was come from a Jewish father and a Catholic mother, and I fell in love with yoga. and Buddhism, and then went to an interfaith seminary to help bring it all into some kind of whole, which I feel very blessed to feel like I've been able to do that. And I believe many of us who are attracted to sacred space and think about interfaith harmony are doing that in our own ways, finding our path and our practice within our tradition or beyond our tradition. So I have a reading from Rumi, who is an amazing interfaith voice. And this is one of my favorite readings. Some of you who I recognize who've been in some of my events lately will recognize this poem. I've read it recently. It's going to begin our meditation, really. I want to sort of head us towards a meditation experience more than a thinking experience. But I was thinking about this poem as the lead-in to our meditation. And I also just read Rumi's biography. He's, a fairly famous figure in the meditation world or the sort of new thought world. So many of us have heard Coleman Barks is one of the most famous translators of Rumi, the Persian poet. Rumi was born in 1200, so a long time ago. And this biography I read of him was extraordinary. So if anyone is a Rumi fan, I would just name it. It's called Rumi's Secret, The Life of the Sufi Poet of Love by Brad Gooch, Gooch. I can write it in the chat when I'm done, and if you want that reference. But I was thinking about reading this poem today, and I remembered the end of the Rumi book, which was about his funeral. So just in brief, Rumi lived in many ways like a nomad with his family because there was so much strife and violence in that region in his lifetime. Sort of the Middle East or the Near East, Turkey and Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan, those areas. So they went all over. So he saw so many different cultures and so many different traditions, even though they were very rooted in their Islamic culture and in their Sufism. So sort of a spiritual aspect of Islam. So very rooted. His father was a cleric. So they went all over wherever he could sort of find a patron. And so he saw all kinds of people and all kinds of faiths and all kinds of brutality too, because they were often fleeing a great deal of violence. And he was very well trained. He wasn't just somebody who, just became Rumi. He had an incredible upbringing in terms of his own tradition out of Islam. His father was fairly, well knowledgeable cleric, but then he even went on to his own training. Rumi was sent off to some of the finest academies for Islamic learning of the time. Also had a spiritual training through Sufism, which was like an adjunct rather than a break from his Islamic training. So when his father died, he was going to take over the teachings of his father, and he did. But then he got cracked open, so to speak, by a mystic who wandered by. And it became very hard for him to live in his tradition and to do what he was so well trained to do. And that is part of the tension of his whole life, is doing his duty within his tradition and his community to the best of his ability, but also living outside of it, going beyond it, not being able to stop himself. It was very controversial. He was in trouble a lot with his own community and with other Islamic fundamentalists, but he was determined, and there was so much joy. That was also, he was in trouble a lot for having too much fun in his worship. You know, he very much was a believer in that whirling practice that dervishes are known for, the Sufis are known for, and that's all he wanted to do in some ways, was swirl and whirl and have those ecstatic experiences. So when he died, I'm going to come to his funeral. It was, everyone was very sad, but he had very strict instructions that they were supposed to basically have a celebration to the burial ground. And this was considered very unorthodox in that tradition, that in that it was considered sacrilegious. So they got in trouble trying to even bring his body to the burial ground. It became sort of a major civil unrest about trying to bring his body to the burial ground the way he wanted it to be done. And I'm looking for just one piece of the ending, but I'll just tell the story. I won't read anything from the book. So on the way, likewise, the whole town, it was a place in Turkey, Konya. I don't know exactly where that is today, but all along the way, people flooded out from all different regions of the city and all the different traditions, mourning him and celebrating him. So he, unbeknownst to his own community, he took little forays all the time out into other religious communities and communed with them and worshiped with them and was in fellowship with them. No one knew how entrenched he was throughout the city and all across these different traditions. But when he died, everyone came out and told, you know, who he was to them. He was considered kind of a prophet and a saint out to people outside of their own tradition. They claimed him. So on the way, it actually became pandemonium, because his own community did not want to share him. His own community did not want to share him. They were appalled that they didn't get to have their own experience of burying him. It took the whole day to get his body to the grave. And it wasn't harmonious necessarily. There was civil unrest all along the way. So I just thought that was a great story about this, you know, this figure who many of us sort of do see as a voice of unity, a voice of wholeness, a voice of that mystical oneness. So here is the poem, and then I'll take that into our meditation. Not Christian, Jew, or Muslim. Not Hindu, Buddhist, Sufi, or Zen. Not any religion or cultural system. I am not from the East or the West, not out of the ocean or up from the ground, not natural or ethereal, not composed of elements at all. I do not exist. I'm not an entity in this world or the next. Did not descend from Adam or Eve or any origin story. My place is the placeless. a trace of the traceless, neither body nor soul. I belong to the beloved, have seen the two worlds as one, and that one call to and know. First, last, outer, inner, only that breath breathing, human being. So I invite us to sit, to settle inward, to feel your body and your breath, this amazing gift we've been given to have this body, to be alive. And just be curious, the just sense of your body right now. The feet, whatever they're touching. The hands, however they're placed. The hips, that kind of fulcrum of your seat. The spine, the symbol of our consciousness, our humanity, upright spine. The head and the face, all of the ways we express ourselves through the many muscles of our face. This kind of amazing organ of our brain. And yet the mind is in every cell of the body. And for a moment, I invite you just to be that kind of breather, that breath breathing human being. There's so much in that knowing, tasting, touching of the breath. The breath in, connecting us to birth, beginning, newness, potential. And that breath out, the release, the letting go, the sloughing off, the cleansing, the resting. Just perhaps enjoying that ride for a moment, the rise and fall, the in and out, just all the poetry and artistry in each breath. every breath, and a receiving, a creating. And if it helps, you can go to your heart as well, that heart center. In yoga, we partly see the heart center as this place where our divine flame is, our connection to the ultimate. Again, just consider for a moment your own sense of your heart, just how that connects you to whatever is most solid, most significant, most vital, most real. And just as you sit for a moment more in this relative quiet, relative stillness, perhaps there's something you want to remember or something you want to affirm, just for yourself. And if you can, allow that just to be fully felt, just your whole body, every part, every cell. And that sense of believing. I'm thinking of the lyrics of the song that Mega began with. That believing that we can just have the life that we dream to have, we can have that passion. And in the spirit of metta and Buddhism, the offering of merit out, just perhaps connecting for a moment to someone you would like to include in your own spiritual heart right now. Again, it might be someone obvious, it might be someone surprising, just extending some of this goodness perhaps that you have connected with, cultivated for yourself out. And potentially in loving kindness, in that metta practice of Buddhism, we extend our circle of care all the way out to the whole world, to all beings. May all beings be happy. May all beings know peace. May all beings be free from suffering. Begin when you're ready to just allow yourself to perhaps transition a bit from inward to outward. I don't have my bell in front of me. I always forget the bell piece when I'm sitting at the computer. So just feel your own little transitional shift. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you all for being here and your efforts to bring peace and harmony to yourself and your world and our world. Thank you.
As they begin the next music sit, I draw your attention to the chat box where lyrics will be posted. So you can join in and sing.
I was called to find my bell just while Natasha was offering the meditation. So, and I find it to be a very much an interfaith experience, a bell. I was just going to say, you know, of course, many of us had Christian connections with bells, from the big bell in the top of the bell towers. Also, if you've sat at a Buddhist monastery, always, and if your mother's ever called you to dinner. So, there you go. My friend Steffi, when we sing together, we're very grateful. We sing almost every week at least once, maybe twice. She always says, let's do the tree song. So this is for us and the trees. 1, 2, 3. I have been among these leaves as long as there've been trees. I have been among these leaves as long as there've been trees. I am the breath. I am the breath cascading. I am the fuse of the dawn. I am the breath cascading. I am the roots growing long. And yes, you did hear the breath of trees. Thanks. So our song for final song for this section is called Plans of God. And I will again try to do call and response so that you'll learn the tune. It's in the key of G. So let's make sure we get there first. There we go. These are the plans of God. These are the hands in worship. Together. These are the plans of God. These are the hands in worship. Holy, immortal cause. Holy, sacred service. Together. Holy, immortal cause. Holy, sacred service. New tune. And blessed be the time each has to come to inner truth. Ready? And blessed be the time each has to come to inner truth. A little bit different, sing along. And blessed be the time each has to say I love you. I love you. These are the plans of God. These are the hands in worship. Holy, immortal cause. Holy in sacred service. And blessed be the time each has to come to inner truth. And blessed be, and blessed be the time each has to say I love you. I love you. These are the plans of God. These are the hands in worship. Holy, immortal cause. Holy, sacred service. And blessed be, and blessed be the time each has to come to inner truth. of God. These are the hands in worship. One more time. Holy, immortal cause, holy in sacred service, and blessed be the time each has to come together to, and blessed be the time each has to say I love you. I love you. These are the plans of God. These are the hands in worship. I love you.
Blessings, friends. That's so amazing. Thank you. It's so precious. Thank you for that love. Thank you for sharing your gifts. It's lovely. I want to invite us now into more compassionate listening. This time, you'll have the opportunity to respond aloud, to let your heart speak. If you are on this call and you feel so led to speak, you can raise your hand so that we're not talking over each other. We can hear each other better. And then when I call your name, you can unmute yourself. This can be, I would invite us so that we have time for everybody, just a sentence, no more than a sentence or so. If you feel led to share what has struck you today or how you met compassion this week, or just wants to share something so that we can witness your life, please feel free. Feel the freedom to speak now. Would anybody like to share what's on their heart? Yes, Mickey.
I just wanted to say peace to everyone and lots of loving kindness.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Joni.
I just wanted to say thank you for that beautiful meditation. Oh, I don't know where I went, but it was gorgeous. And also, it's so lovely to hear that beautiful music, even on Zoom. It just sounded heavenly. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joni. Anyone else?
Oh, I just wanted to say that I mean, I love the whole thing for sure, and but I really enjoyed imagining traveling, like Rumi traveling to different parts of the Middle East, and meeting with different people and people coming all together. So I look forward to doing that sometime sooner than later. It's great to join you all here today too.
Thank you, Shell. Anyone else? Anyone else going once, going twice? Yes, Ralph.
I've been working with a fraction, and I like to remind myself that each of us is 1/8 billionth of the planet, and that's kind of a humbling and expansive thought.
Thank you, Ralph.
To echo what Ralph says, anytime one feels a sense of exaggerated self, all you have to do is go to the Grand Canyon in Arizona, and it will put things into a more clarified perspective for you. And allow me to say too that Mega's harp playing is a divine gift. I know she's the one playing it, she's the musician, but there's a lot of divinity in her music that she exudes.
Thank you. Anyone else? Then I'll share just that I see many people a day as a spiritual director, sometimes 5 people a day with masks on. And it's such a gift to see your full faces. And I'm just so grateful for the human face up close. You're all so beautiful. It really, I think it's like fuel for my heart. I didn't realize until I'm seeing all your faces. It's been a while since I've been on Zoom, and wow, the energy I get from that. I forget until I'm just moved to tears just seeing you all and somehow the healing.
And so beautiful to hear those birds. So beautiful.
Phil, I'll invite us then to hear a final song, and then we'll share some blessings in the chat box. So Mega and friends, whenever you're ready, and you might look for lyrics again in the chat box if there are.
There was a little girl who years ago, she was quite small. She had an experience that surprised her, and it was an opportunity to play on a merry-go-round. And when she got off the merry-go-round, she turned around, she went, "What's next?" And it became the wonders of the world. The wonders multiply. So one of the wonders of my life is having friends who are very good at waltzing. So I've invited Kathleen and Rick to waltz. So if you have a partner there that waltzes, or you just want to waltz with yourself today, there you go. The rest of us, of Mega and friends, are going to play. We're all playing, heavens. So, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, the wonders multiply, celebrating life. The wonders multiply, celebrating life. I have you, and I have you, and you have me, and we have each other. I have you, and you have me, and we have each other. The wonders multiply in spring, and the wonders multiply, celebrating spring, and the wonders multiply, celebrating spring. And I have you, and I have you, and you have me, and we have each other. I have you, and you have me, and we have each other. Friends, and the wonders multiply, celebrating friends, and the wonders multiply, celebrating friends. And I have you, and you have me, and we have each other. I have you, and you have me, and we have each other. Love, and the wonders multiply, celebrating love. The wonders multiply. multiply.
Wonders multiply, celebrating Lord.
I love you.
I love you and you love me. We love each other. And I love you and you love me. And we love each other.
We're gonna go home again.
And the wonders multiply, celebrating home. And the wonders multiply, celebrating home.
And I have you.
And I have you and you have me. And we have each other.
And I have you.
And I have you and you have me. And we have each other.
Yay! Thank you. Thanks for bringing us in. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for all the spiritual leadership on this call that made this possible, flowing through all of you. I want to first invite us to bless each other by offering a word of blessing, if you would like, in the chat box, as Mickey has offered. Thank you for that, Mickey, early on. And feel free to take a moment while I'm speaking and hit type message. There you go. You can type message and hit return. And as I'm speaking, you can read the blessings that you're receiving from each other. And if it's helpful for you, you can put your hand over your heart to help us remember and celebrate that we all have the same heart, human heart, heart of love. We are indeed connected. I'm going to blow out the candle now, and I ask us to remember that we share the same light. That light's within us and can sustain us. We can draw strength and courage and love from this light within all of us. And I'll end with a final announcement. And then I'll read the blessings aloud and then we'll close. If you gather in person again, or when we gather in person again across our globe in different places when it's safe, and you would like to start a sacred space in your city, just email me and we will get you started. And you can become a part of the Sacred Space Network. You can go to sacredspacecommunity.org. Our next gathering is February 21st, first and third Sundays. And again, please see our chat box if you want to connect with Natasha or Mega and follow their work, which I highly commend to you. And I'm going to read these blessings for those of you who might have trouble or don't have that function on your computer. I want you to hear them. Wonder. So fun, the dancing and waltzing and seeing you outside together too. Yes. So beautiful to be here with you all. Peace and comfort. May all have health. Sweet harmony for all. May all have harmony and joy. And now I'll invite us all to unmute. I'm going to be able to allow us to all speak aloud as you would like, an audio, a goodbye out loud. Thank you all. Want to hear your voices. Please speak freely. Goodbye, peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Natasha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have good health, everybody. Have good health and a peaceful week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay safe,
Yeah.
stay beautiful.
Walking
Bye.
Love you. Love you. Thank you.
Bye. That's enough,
Wow.
right?